see me? Woo-hoo. It is 6:29. Welcome to the webinar. I'll probably have to say welcome again. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds for a few other people to join. And I still do have some folks signing up. So, you know me, I'm a planner, so we are going to start on time. That's why this screen is already up here. But I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds just for the folks who are logging in and getting themselves settled on this Wednesday afternoon, and for the people who are just signing up. All right, it is here. It's 6:31. Welcome to Tiffany Event Planners webinar, Networking for Wedding Pros, How to Grow Your Business Offline. Hello. Hi, everybody. Well, welcome to my webinar, my very first webinar. And I am live at the Royal Sonesta. So the first slide that you saw was the networking for wedding pros on how to grow your business offline. So I need to know how many of you could use more profitable connections in 2018. Everybody type yes. I have about 16 people on here, so I'm still waiting. So feel free to type yes. Feel free to raise your hand, all of that good stuff. I like my background. Downtown Baltimore. Isn't it swanky? Swanky! And look, I'm maxing and relaxing for this webinar. So no kind of, if anybody knows me, they know that this webinar and the event is going to be fun. It's going to be swanky. All right. So in this webinar, this is what we're going to learn. Where to look for great networking events. My proven formula for crafting the perfect elevator pitch. How to work the room at any event. How to work the room at any event. I'm going to say that one more time so it's said 3 times. How to work the room at any event. Very important. All right. What to do immediately after the event to stay connected and more. I'm going to say that one more time too. What to do after the event to stay connected and more. The and more part is really important as well. All right. So all of that stuff, you're in the right place. You chose the right free webinar. If you set out a goal to get more and make connections through networking this year, but you're a bit of an introvert, believe it or not, I was too. I did not like to network, or you just didn't know where to start. Believe that or not, I was too. Didn't know anything about networking events in Baltimore or anywhere else. However, you're in the right place, and this is what we're going to do this evening. So, I am Tiffany, event planner, pro planner. They say I don't give myself that title. It's right here on paper. I didn't give myself that title. Pro planner, wedding expert, and mentor. I take those. I will earn those. So, and an ultimate networker. I'll take that one. And an ultimate networker. So that gives me the ability to sit here and help my fellow planners, my fellow event pros, my fellow hotel folks, anyone who needs to get out, network to build their brand and their business. Gives me the ability to do all of this good stuff. So let's jump right in. I hope I have everyone. How to find networking events. And I'm going to be flipping back and forth with the PowerPoint. So I hope you got your pens and everything ready. So let's start. How to find networking events. All right. Here we go. Look, I just skipped all of that. I'm Tiffany. All right. Giving you a little bit of my background. All right. How to find networking events. Check online networking sites. So what we're going to do, of course, we check Eventbrite. You want to check our local Baltimore social sites. Some of them being Baltimore Snap, Hide and Seek Entertainment, the Baltimore Sun. And truthfully, Google is your friend. So you can search networking events and use our keywords like wedding or event industry, things like that. Or you can choose an area. So choose downtown Baltimore networking events. And don't single out the events that don't have anything to do with wedding or events, because we never know who will be at an event. So don't single those out. Search on social media. Facebook and Instagram are our friends. So for those of you who do not use social media as much, they are our friends. Facebook is, again, a keywords. Type in wedding, type in shows, type in networking, type in planners, type in events, Baltimore. Like, use all of those things, like any kind of word that associates with what you're doing, floral, linens, whatever. Type those in, see what comes up. Don't be afraid to go off the grid, because you're looking for an event, because your business is important and your brand is important. So you got to go the extra mile. Instagram is very, very easy. Use hashtags, search locations for events. And again, build your brand. It's on your brand. So just make sure that you are going the extra mile. Don't give up, because we need to get out there. Join non-networking groups. So again, they have Baltimore, for example, has under 40. We don't know who's there. Somebody under 40 may be getting married. That's the perfect age. Somebody under 40 who works at T. Rowe Price. They may need someone corporate to plan events. They may need you to connect them with someone. So even those non-networking groups can be beneficial. Nonprofits, organizations, they have happy hours, things like that. Support a cause. Okay, so supporting a cause, going to any type of fundraisers, just as a regular person. And then once you're in the door, then it's about you and your brand and talking to different guests that are there, mixing, mingling with different people. You didn't go in as the floral designer, you went in as Kim Johnson. But once you're there and you're sitting at a dinner table or you're at a high top, then you become the floral designer. Oh, those florals are nice on this table. That's what I do. Support different local causes and still represent your brand once you're in the door. I am going to how to prepare for an event. All right, so how do we prepare for an event? You will need an elevator pitch. Tiffany, what is an elevator pitch? That's what it says. An elevator pitch is a short, compelling summary of what you do and what you have to offer, typically in 30 seconds. And it has to be very quickly, very strong, and very convincing. Here's the elevator pitch formula. So I'll give you a couple seconds so maybe you can say this out loud. For example, for myself, I am a wedding planner. I help couples plan and design their wedding so they can have a seamless wedding day and planning experience. That's it. That's my pitch. What is your pitch? Fill the blanks in. What is your pitch? Here's an example, just in case. Okay. Other ways to prepare for a networking event. First of all, this is absolutely by far my favorite. By far. Preparation for a networking event. Whether you know me or you do not know me, I take Tiffany Event Planner, Bird of Paradise events very, very seriously. So I prepare. I don't just show up. I literally prepare myself. So create a networking goal and make a short list of people you want to meet. Vendors, mentors, prospects, etc. I take that very seriously. And again, that's where research comes into play. Because, for example, if you find a networking event on Facebook, then you can see the people that are coming. So you get to click and see what they do, see what company they work for, see how great their work is or isn't. So therefore, when you spot those people at that event, you can address them by name. You know the company they work for. You can even say, I saw your work, etc. And that opens up dialogue. And if you have, so for me, I have I have wedding and event crushes. I have wedding and event crushes. I have people in the industry that I absolutely love their work. Like if I see them, you would have thought that I saw Beyonce somewhere. So it's okay to have people that you absolutely love and have to meet. And then the other, before I get to take a ton of business cards, look the part, represent your brand. I don't go anywhere without representing Tiffany Event Planner and Bird of Paradise events. It doesn't mean that I have to spend tons of money on clothes, but I need to look clean. I need to look presentable. I need to look like I'm talking to this vendor and or this potential mentor and or this potential prospect, and they want me to meet them somewhere. They want to have coffee. They want me to come to their office to talk about business. They look at me and say, I think my clients might like her. So that's another way of preparation, to look the part. look like your business. You know, nobody likes a hairstylist and their hair's never done. That's crazy. Nobody likes a makeup artist and they're saying, oh, I do makeup, but your makeup is never done. Or you look like, you know, something else. So nobody wants a business professional, a wedding planner, an event planner, or a floral designer, and you have on flip-flops that are going crazy and you're at a networking event, or you have on, you know, just not clean and put together. That's another way to prepare. It's not all about, you know, who you are and bringing business cards or whatever. You still have to look the part. All right, so enough of that. I'm sorry. I had to go off on that. All right, take ton of business cards. Let me tell you, this, I want to switch back to myself so I can be very clear on this part, because this is a huge problem that we have. I'm gonna come back to myself, I think. Business cards. Listen, I learned, so I'm still learning. And someone told me that if I ask someone for a business card and they don't have one, I don't take them seriously. And I was like, that makes total sense. That makes total sense. You cannot be at a networking event with the goal to meet people and don't have no business cards. So if someone asks you for a business card, what are we saying? I don't have them yet. Oh, okay. So if they are very interested in you, even if they gave you their card, if they are so interested that they wanted to contact you that evening, how are they going to do it? They're going to say, I met this wonderful person. Oh my goodness, her business is amazing. She was telling me all these great things. But I can't send her an email. I can't text her. Oh, maybe I can go on social media if I remember what her business name was, or etc. Business cards are very important. Literally, that's a $10 investment. I think $15 if you add shipping on Vistaprint. Very, 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 very important. Very important. Business cards. I still carry business cards. And I still give them out. And if I don't have business cards, like if I've switched pocketbooks or I've done something crazy like that, I am kicking myself. Like I am at a networking event, literally ashamed of myself. Like I'm like, please, can I have your phone number? I'm so sorry. I don't have, it's business cards. Very, very, very important. All right. Did I stress that enough? Did I stress that enough? All right, because now I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint and get back on task. That's why they gave me this script, because they know I'll get off task. All right, so I'm going back to the PowerPoint. Business cards. All right. Okay. All right. How to work the room. I really should be like on camera for this. I do know that. All right, so how to work the room. Meet and connect. Look approachable. Everybody say that with me 3 times. Look approachable. Look approachable. Look approachable. I'm going to come back to the screen. I'm sorry, y'all. This really should, oh, please. I'm back. All right. Look approachable. So that does not mean we go to a networking event. See, I'm giving examples. I'm doing extra. And we just sit down and we just looking. Oh, let's get my wine. I think I got my wine. All right. And we just looking. No, first of all, I don't really let any of my mentees or assistants sit down at a networking event. If I show up at a networking event and my mentees are sitting down, I go over and I'll be like, what you doing? How you gonna meet somebody over here? What's going on? I don't care if you have to stand in a corner because you don't know anybody. You cannot sit down. You can't. Because nobody's going to come and bend down and start a conversation. You have to be standing. And you have to look approachable. That means a smile. That means a friendly face. Not, I'm just here. I'm just here. Looking approachable is very, very important. Excuse my language. You cannot have resting face while you're at a networking event, trying to build your brand, trying to get people to know you, and trying to get your business out there. It's not going to happen. And if any of my mentees are on here, which I think they are, they will tell you, I show up at an event and we all there and they sitting down. I'd be like, what you doing? You been around the room? Did you meet anybody? Who have you met? Did you meet that person? Do you know them? You can't sit down. All right, I'm gonna go back to the see, this is why they gave me a script. I'm sorry. Okay. Look approachable. Say hello. Say hello to everybody. I mean, what is the worst that will happen? Is that they won't say hello back, or they're going to not talk to you? Say hello. It doesn't hurt. Starting a business, you already jumped a hurdle. So saying hello and someone not saying hello back, that's a very, very small thing. But I guarantee you it will not happen, and it does not hurt. The first 3 minutes of connections are vital for building rapport. Vital. Vital. So the first 3 minutes and hello is in that 3 minutes, because once you say hello, then you start the conversation. And it gives that person, and it gives you the time to get to know them and kind of just make some stuff up as you go along. You know what I mean? It gives you time to make a friend. You're making a friend in 2.5, 3 minutes. That's what you're doing. So all you have to do is say hello and then get started. And I'm going to throw this in here real quick, and Angel's probably going to kill me. So when I do events with professionals, we do exercises. So this whole little networking piece is exercise, March 7th, at dinner within the event planner. All right, so I'm going to go on. But I'm just telling you that we do exercises. So just talking, I will exercise it out so that it helps you. All right, so be fully present and listen. I'm clapping my hands. If you are in this 3-minute conversation, you cannot be texting, you can't be on Facebook, you can't be on Instagram, and you can't be wandering the room with your eyes. That connection, that 2.5, 3 minutes is very, very, very important. That fully present and listen, it's like your first date. You are zoned in on that person because you need to know what they have to offer to help your business. And you need to explain to them your business because you might be a great connection. Fully present and listen. Okay. Ask great questions. So one, if you have done your research and you are talking to someone that you've never met before, however, you knew they were going to be there, then you have already prepared yourself to ask that person great questions because you have done your research and you know what they do and you know their work, but you need to get to know them for your business. So you already have great questions. So I'm not even going to go there. However, if you're talking to someone that you don't know, you didn't have time to do research, then you need to think on a fly. Great questions is, what is the name of your business? What do you exactly do? Who do you service? How long have you been doing this? Tell me a little bit about yourself, etc. Great questions. Those great questions, once you get them implemented, they should always be in your mind for every event. It's going to be like a script. Hi, how are you? What's the name of your business? Oh, how long have you been doing that? Oh, that's great. Who do you service? It'll be like a script. It'll just flow. Is everybody taking notes? All right. Engage and deepen the connection. Again, script. Find something that you have in common. If not, make something up. Someone says they have 2 children. One of them is 7 and one of them is 9. Find a way to relate. If someone says that they live, in the Mount Vernon, find something to relate. Oh, I love Mount Vernon. We go down there to eat something. Find something in common. You do not have a lot of time. You have to be memorable, and you want them to remember you. So find something. Find out who they are and discover what is important to them professionally and, more importantly, personally. Now, professionally, so people ask me all the time in networking events, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a wedding planner, but they ask me, what is my favorite venue to work at? I have not mastered why they ask me that. And I get asked that a lot. However, some kind of way, it's them trying to connect with me personally and find out what's important to me as a wedding planner. So it's either they ask me, what's my favorite venue to work at in Baltimore? Or they ask me about clients, like how many bridezillas I've had, or something like that. And they'd be very surprised I haven't had too many bridezillas. And if they ask me what my favorite venue is in Baltimore, I have a few. So they have to change their script. However, there's always a standard question that someone has to ask a professional. And those are my 2 questions that I get asked all the time. And normally it's people who do not know me. Like once they find out what I'm playing, oh, what's your favorite venue to work at? And I always think people are trying to, poke me for venue information because their daughter's getting married or something. But it's a standard question. So you have to find out what's important to them professionally and, of course, more importantly, personally. For that, it's if they have a ring on, oh, are you, engaged, married, find out what they do when they're not being a florist. Find out what they're doing when they're not catering events or baking cakes. What do they like to do outside of this world, that we're in? If someone isn't a good fit for you while you're networking, oh, isn't that amazing? You don't know how many events I go to, where I'm talking to a few people who aren't in the industry, which is fine. But it's just people that I'm like, I don't really want to stand here and talk to you for 3 minutes when I want to go over there and talk to that catering director, So if someone isn't a good fit, smile and move on. You can even finish it with, oh, can I have your business card? Thank you so much. It was so great meeting you. End the conversation. I think that's 10 seconds. That's it. It's done. Y'all can't see me because I'm over here talking with my hands and clapping and everything. However, I'm going to say it one more time. If someone isn't a good fit for you, don't stand there for 10 minutes because you have just missed the potential director of sales for a hotel who might have wanted to meet you and say, oh, I've seen that person on Facebook. I've seen their, wedding design. But you are stuck over here talking to this person that you don't even want to talk to just because you don't know how to get out. Here it is. It was so great to meet you. Do you have a business card? Thank you so much. Have a great evening. That's it. It's done. Okay. So share and be real. If anyone knows me, that's my whole life. Share and be real. Well, not the share part, but the be real part. Be yourself. Try not to be nervous. When you walk in, take a deep breath. They are only people. Be yourself. If you have a humorous spirit, use it. If you do not have a humorous spirit, then try to make light of something. If someone comes around with pigs in a blanket or something, just try to find humor or try to be comfortable, but be real. Don't try to be a stuffy business person if that's not who you are. just because you're at an event. They are just people. They are just people. Okay. Add value immediately. Okay. And not when I say valued, I don't mean you come up to a person and say, "Hi, how are you? I'm a event planner. I'm a florist and I've been doing this for 20 years." Not that part. Add value meaning state your mission, state your business, be who you are. You know, tell what you do and what you can do. Not, you don't know how long. So I've been doing this for 10 years. You don't know how many times people have told me, "We have been doing this for so long. Oh, we've been doing this for 30 years. Oh, we've done so many weddings. We've done over 300 weddings." No, that's not the value. That's the quantity. And the quantity truly does not matter because it only takes one quantity to bring your whole brand down. The value is you, your business, and your brand. So add value immediately. That is you. That is business. Quantity, a bad photographer can do 1,000 weddings in a year, but they're still a bad photographer. So where's the value? Okay. Lay the foundation for another meeting. How do we do that? If and only if, don't do it if it's a not. If you have found a professional or a potential client or a potential mentor at a networking event, then you want to let them know that you are interested. And how do we do that? We are going to say to them, "I would really like to meet you. I really would like to sit down, have a meeting, have coffee, have lunch, have something." And then discuss potential dates. Say, "Are you available next week? What do you think about next week? You know, what dates do you think you have open next week? What days are normally best for you during the week, etc." Lay it immediately so it will be unforgettable. Somebody can say, "Oh, I just met that young lady. Oh, I have a meeting with her. I'm going to try to meet with her next week," etc. Because there's no lingering. You have already set the tone that you're interested and that you want another meeting face to face, period. And don't be afraid. Again, all someone can do is say no. Don't be afraid. And then how you finish that off, make the commitment to follow up quickly. That's it. If you have a business card, you're giving it to them. They have a business card, they're giving it to you. What you're doing is locking it down quickly. That means you're going right home or in the garage, etc. "Oh, it was great meeting you. We talked about meeting next week. Please, let's confirm a date. Let's lock it up." Period, point blank. Simple, but it requires work. Simple. Okay. After an event. So this is very, very, very trying. And trust me, I know, because I was truly guilty of this. I have given myself a chore over the last couple of years to do this immediately, like really. So what I do is when I'm at events and I get cards, because we have thousands of cards when we go to events, people just give you cards. I try to separate my cards. So if I've made that connection with that person or those persons that I really want to talk to, I want to see their wedding space, I want to go to a tasting, I separate them. So now I have a stack of 10 cards that I need to send 10 immediate emails to, and then I have 30 that I need to go through later. So that's another way. But reconnect immediately so you're not sending out 30 emails in 24 hours. That's a way to lessen your stress. But reconnecting immediately, responding within 24 hours is huge. Like, you don't even know, huge. Even if you have to schedule it, I don't care what you do, but it has to be, that's a must. If you have connected with someone and you built a rapport there, 24 hours is huge. And, I get emails sometimes and it says, great meeting you last night. That's the subject line. I'm like, shoot, I met that person. Great meeting you last, subject line, period. And then you go into whatever you need to say. That's it. But 24 hours on someone that you built a rapport with, someone that made a connection with you and you made a connection with them, it's huge. It's huge. Send them personalized emails or LinkedIn requests to thank them for meeting. So I just said that, literally. Again, it's huge. All right. Y'all taking notes? I hope y'all taking notes. All right. So let's review what we went over. I'm a little passionate about this. So hopefully you guys kind of got everything. Hopefully you was taking notes and you can let me know if I need to go back on anything or if you have any questions. All right. So what we talked about so far was the 4 key places for great networking events. Social media, the event sites, i.e. Eventbrite, i.e. Hide and Seek, Baltimore Snap, Baltimore Sun. We talked about we talked about supporting causes, great places for networking, etc. Basically, any place that you step your foot in should be a networking. And for my introverts who, have an issue with networking, you can start small spaces. Start with intimate events. Start with intimate spaces. Truthfully, start with a happy hour. Hotels have happy hour. Start with the happy hour. And then, just, talk to someone and then start talking about your business. Use people as what do you want? Dummies. Use a dummy person. And then start moving yourself up to mid-size events and then large-size events. Things like that. Because if you're building a brand and you're building your business, it is just, you just cannot not network. I'm sorry. You just cannot do it. All right, so 2, my easy formula for crafting an elevator pitch. We talked about that as well. How to meet, connect, and engage at any event. All right, so I probably left this out. So for anyone who drinks alcohol, networking events, 1 glass of wine. And truthfully, maybe even if you don't drink, you can get water in a wine glass. That sparks conversations as well, just by you having, a drink in your hand. Somebody will say, what are you drinking? Or you'll see somebody at the bar, so it's so many different ways to meet, connect, and engage. But normally 1 glass of wine kind of takes the edge off and you're not as nervous or feel as out of place, etc. We definitely talked about what to do immediately after the event to stay connected. And that is to connect immediately for those persons that you were interested in and those who you think expressed an interest in you and what you do. Again, all of these things that we talked about will be in depth. And when I say, and if anyone has ever been to one of my events, it will be in depth at Dinner with Tiffany Event Planner. I do exercises, so we kind of go through in-person networking exercises and things like that. That is an absolute must because I feel very, very strongly about networking and building relationships for your brand and your business. So This flyer that's up here, dinner with Tiffany Event Planner. And it is an evening of empowerment and education. So it is Wednesday, March 7th, 2018 at 6 p.m. So let me run it down very quickly. 6 p.m. When we start, registration, etc. Somewhere around 6:30, we will be served a very elaborate 3-course meal that I actually get to pick out for you guys. And then we will go into our evening of empowerment education. We also will have cocktails. I'm going to get some nice desserts, probably to take home because I don't want you guys to go to sleep. And then I will have some custom gifts for you guys. And we have some sponsors who are giving some stuff away. So I will, once I put it back on myself, I'm going to tell you about those because I'm very excited about those. So it's at the Royal Sonesta. Let me put it on myself real quick before I show this last slide. Hold on. Oh, here I am. Hey! Okay. How'd y'all like the webinar? That was my first one. But I felt like it was great because I was super, super into this. Like, super, super into it. It was great. All right, so I am Tiffany Event Planner. So let me tell you. So my first event for professionals, not just wedding and event professionals, was a few years ago. It was networking with Tiffany Event Planner. And no, it was spring into your event. It was very casual, happy hour, laid back. I had a couple speakers, etc. My second event was for planners, and it was Planners Powwow. That was for beginning planners, planners that may have been rebranding, etc. That was about three meetings. We just had round tables. At the end, I did a style shoot for all of them. They each were able to do their own style shoot for that, so they could use for their websites, social media, etc., to show their business, show what they could do. So this is my third event under Tiffany Event Planner. So it is dinner with Tiffany Event Planner. So I wanted it to be huge. I wanted it to be, I want to say elegant, but I'm going to use my word, which is blah. It's going to be swanky. It's going to be swanky. So, and it's in my favorite room at the Royal Sonesta. So that is humongous. So this is my third event under Tiffany Event Plan. So it had to be powerful. So that's why I had to use the word, even though I say the word education, it had to be powerful. So I had to use empowerment because we are going to make this a great year, 2018, for everyone in business who wants to come and who is willing to take in what I and we have to offer, because I'm not, like I said, I still learn to this day. And I have a couple mentees and I tell them that too. And someone told me, and I think she's still on here, she said, Tiffany, I change my contract after every wedding. Something makes me change my contract. That stays with me. She's a fellow wedding planner. I love her to death. And that stays with me. And that's what I say. I still learn. So learning from someone else is not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Because sometimes we need to hear it from someone else. Sometimes we need to hear that someone went through this, and someone needs to say, oh, you had that problem too, or someone just has to say, no, you can't charge that amount. No, you're paying them to do their wedding. you're paying them to do their corporate event. No, you have to charge more. And if you don't, then let it walk off the table. Someone has to tell you that, and you have to accept it. You know, you just have to hear it from someone else. All right, so let me go back to my last slide because I can do this all day. Hold on. All right. And so, for everyone is on here, besides all the good food that we'll get at the Royal Sonesta, besides the custom gifts that I'm going to give you, since you're on here, thank you for joining. Here's a special gift for you. 15% off of your investment, the Tiffany Event Planner, Dinner with Tiffany Event Planner, on Wednesday, March 7th at the Royal Sonesta. You get 15% off. So I need you to go to Eventbrite, and your code is going to be, you ready? Write it down. Networking with, just the W or the whole word? The whole word. Okay. Networking with Tiffany. That's your code for Eventbrite. And that code ends on Friday. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in to my very first webinar. It means the world to me. We are going to email you the code and the link for Eventbrite. So here it is again, 15% off Dinner with Tiffany Event Planner, just because you joined my webinar. Now, we did say 10%, but since I kind of love you guys so much and I met my goal of attendees and you guys were going crazy, I decided to do 15%. And that's your investment. Let me say it again. That's your investment. So you're not coming to dinner with Tiffany Event Planner just so we can kick it. I'm going to work you. We're going to have pens. We're going to have paper. We're going to have workbooks. We're going to get up. We're going to walk around the room. We're going to do exercises. So it is an investment for your brand and your business. So if you do not follow me, however, if you on this webinar, you probably do. I am Tiffany Event Plan, and everything at my social media is Bird of Paradise Events. Okay, so let me come back to y'all so y'all can see me one last time. There I am. Hey, I survived my first webinar. So you can survive your first Dinner with Tiffany Event Planner. 15% off. Go get your tickets on Eventbrite. So I don't have to make social media PSAs that are rude. Okay, I love you guys so much. Does anybody have any questions? I can take a couple questions. Angel, help me. How do I see that? And don't ask me anything that I'm probably going to talk about at the dinner, because you got to pay for that. Oh, I'm going up to comments. Does anybody know how to chat? So if anybody wants to send me a chat, they can.
We've been chatting the whole time.
Oh, they said I've been chatting the whole time. I don't need to be a superstar. Thais is still here because that's my word list.
Okay, I'm gonna call it out. I'll take the answers.
Okay.
So we have a question from Deanne. She wants to know, what was the hardest thing for you when you first started as a planner?
The hardest thing for me was when I would go to networking events and or call vendors on phones for clients and things like that, and they would be like, "Who are you? How long have you been doing this?" That was the hardest thing for me, because it was like, "Oh, sorry, this is my second wedding. or this is my first wedding. And that's when I learned the term that really kind of boggles my soul is we've been doing this for so long, or we've done 250 weddings, etc. To me, when you're saying it, not even to a new plan, because they still say it to me all the time, it kind of is saying, well, we've been doing this longer, so we're better, and that probably was the hardest thing for me, was to kind of get over the people doubting you because they did not know who you were, or they've never heard of your business. And my mindset is, your business hasn't always, like, you started somewhere. Like, your business hasn't always been established. Like, you didn't just start a catering business and it was immediately something. Like, you had to build, and you had to fight, and you had to scrape the same way that I did. So that was the hardest thing for me. I tell everyone who comes in this, when they say they want to be wedding planners, I say you must have tough skin. All right, I'm sorry.
All right, you have another question. Just one Callaway wants to know what's the attire or theme for the dinner.
Girl. So there is no, so I want to say dinner attire. Get dressed up. Dinner attire. But they'll go to Nordstrom's and none of that stuff. But dinner attire. Black pants, black shirt, or black necklace. Keep it simple. And so if you're there, then I'm gonna share all my tips, tricks, and nuggets to this getting fancy stuff, because we have to be out. We have to network. So I'm gonna share all of that. Yeah, no, just dinner attire. Just know we want to take pictures. But you ain't gotta go to Nordstrom's or none of that stuff.
All right, we have another question. Deanne wants to know, how do you control all of the planners, aunties, that are trying to make your bride's decision?
Oh, that is so Deanne. So I have named myself a pro at that, and I think a lot of good planners will. I know. I mean, a lot of good planners can. So what I do, I'm very straightforward. And when I say that you should have tough skin, and I don't mean that just for vendors, like, you need tough skin for moms, grandmas, aunts, cousins, sisters. But I am very straightforward. I explain to people their role and their place in a very nice way, with sugar on top, meaning a roundabout way of, this is what I'm paid to do, and you will be enjoying your relative's day, etc. So the cut answer to that question is very straightforward, with sugar on top, which means it has to be straight, assertive, with a smile.
Great answer. We have another question from Tira. Tira wants to know, when and what was the turning point for your business that made you become comfortable in what you do?
Oh my God. So the funny thing is, people, so 2018 is my 10th year in the industry. However, literally, I have been a brand for about 5 years. I want to say 4 to 5 years. And I really cannot tell you what the turning point was, except that I got out more. So my face, my business cards, my logo, my work started to show up more. And the second part of that is the relationships that I built while I was doing those things. Relationships are very important. So I can't give you the exact turning point, but I even say, if someone asks me how long I've been in this business, I say 10 years. However, It's been like the last 4 or 5 years that I've been relevant or busy, or whatever, booked and busy. So, so that's what I can say. And then that, again, that's something else we'll go over March 7th, because it's very important, to share with you guys where I came from, how I got there, and how I got here, so that you understand, what you're in store for or what needs to be done.
We have another question from Disha. Disha wants to know, will you be doing elevator pitch or going over elevator pitch, at the dinner?
For networking?
Yes.
Or yes. So we'll do a complete networking exercise that will include elevator pitches. What I think I want to do, because I think, to me, I really can't stress it enough. To me, networking is so important, because behind networking is relationships, and so it's networking, relationships, business, lifelong friends, continuous clients, and that's continuous revenue. So that's how it goes for me. So for me, it's so important. So we're going to do, really, like, that's not even a paper pen thing. That's a exercise, like yoga. Like, we need to get up and walk through it, so that when I see, hopefully, some of you at the next event, I can be like, oh my gosh, she's talking to people. That's so, yes, we're gonna work through that.
All right. We have another question. Do you have a rule of thumb on how many connections you want to make at an event?
No. You know why? Because it only takes one. It only takes one. So, nope. But every time I go to an event, I meet at least one person that is now, to this day, a staple in my business and or my life. So I don't have to meet 5 people at an event. It only takes one. One person can change your whole business. I ain't met Oprah yet, but one person can change your whole business, truthfully.
Okay. We have another question. What happened? Oh no. Okay. What happened, or when was the moment you knew you wanted to become an event planner?
All right. So here's my background. I spent 15, no, 20. Gosh, I haven't read my resume in a long time. So I spent 15 plus years in Baltimore City as an administrative assistant and or executive assistant to top CEOs, directors, and presidents. Um, so what that gave me was, I planned a lot of things, meetings. I managed a lot of things. I managed board meetings. I managed people, and working for a president and CEO gave me assertiveness. It gave me logistics, things like that. So I really kind of took those things. At first, I wanted to do meeting planning and like conferences and stuff like that. But then I think I did like a lunch or something, like a huge lunch for business people. And I made it all like pretty and, stuff like that. And then, of course, I'd have that cliche that I almost planned my own wedding. So then I was like, oh, literally, I think after I planned my own wedding, I think I started a business like a couple months later. So those things tied together is what did that for me.
That's all we have.
All right, that's all the questions. All right, so I am going to sign off. Okay, so I'm signing off with this. I thank you guys so very, very much for making my first webinar so amazing. I really, really hope to see everyone at dinner with Tiffany Event Planner on Wednesday, March 7th at the Royal Sonesta. Your 15% off code is Networking with Tiffany or Eventbrite, and you will get it in an email. So, thank you so much. Bye-bye.